Hey everyone, welcome to the 1099 Hub app. This is our latest version and I'm so excited to walk you through our newest features. Now you really want to watch the whole app to know how to set it up so that it helps you manage your business and makes running your business very easy. So if you click in the top right corner, that's your profile, and you really want to set up, at least put in your business address. And I like to point out, here's your home address. You're going to want to click in the business address because this is what is going to help do some auto calculations for the mileage tracking, and I'll show you that a bit later. Now, once you click save, you're going to go back, and then this is your main screen. If you click the top left corner, that's the hamburger menu, and I want you to start by clicking on the companies. These are companies you work for. So think of these as like a system that you work for, or it could be a group that you work for. These are not the locations you go to within that company necessarily. So for instance, if I go to Happy Hospital Systems, this is made up. I didn't even put in a company address because that you could put in a billing address or something like that there. But the main thing I want to point out is down here is the company email, and this is where I'm going to send invoices to. This is actually my own email for this demo, but you're going to put in an email address there, and that's where invoices are going to go to. And if you don't send invoices, you can just leave that unchecked. So I'm going to click back. These are other hospital systems, and then next you're going to go to locations. So once you put in the hospital systems, you're going to put into where you go to for those locations. So for instance, I'm going to show you here with Exact Anesthesia. So Exact Anesthesia is, here's the top two here. Here's a hospital system I go to and a surgery center I go to. And if I open that up, you're going to want to put in the address there. And because that's the actual physical location that you're going to for work, you can choose between an hourly, a daily rate, or per unit rate. Now let's say I'm going to choose $2,000 per day, okay? I'm going to show you how it updates shifts around that. So for when you're first putting in the location, we actually want you to calculate your office to location and your location to your office mileage in case you go down a different route or something like that. And this is what is going to pre-populate into all your mileage tracking for this shift. Now, if you get reimbursed from a facility, like let's say it's 70 cents per mile, you're going to put that in there. You're going to want to add that to be reimbursed for your facility, and then you're going to want to exclude it from your own personal mileage tracking. And the reason we have this two buttons here is because some people will put in their W-2 jobs in as well. And so you need to have this bottom button checked because you can't get reimbursed for mileage if it's a W-2 job. I'm going to leave that unchecked. I'm going to click update. And the cool thing about our app is that if you get a raise or something like that, and you've already put in future shifts or past shifts that you want to have updated, it will automatically update those shifts to have the new rate. So as you notice, I changed from an hourly rate to a daily rate, and now I can update all those shifts. So it's updating those. Now I'm going to go and show you shifts because it's the next part of your flow would be probably entering shifts. We have this new, so we have this is our older shift entering, and it's more manually entering, and so you're selecting a company, all this. But we added this new feature, which we love. It's called the Quick Scheduler, and it just makes it very easy to add in new shifts. So it's going to pull in all the information. If there's anything you need to update there, such as a bonus rate, or if you're changing your mileage, or if you're getting reimbursed mileage suddenly, you can update that all here. And you can just click on the days that you work, and it could be in past months too. And so you can click save those shifts. And so it's going to save and update those shifts. Those shifts have now been created and they are in our calendar. You can click the top left corner there and it will change it to a calendar view. And and one thing I'd like to point out is you do have to click on the month if you want to go back a month for all of our features right now. Eventually we're going to change that, but right now that's how it's working. Now next I'm going to show you how it works for mileage. So these are future shifts that I put in, and you can see that they're grayed out because they're in the future. And the ones that have already been completed, they are here. So I put in 13 miles and those are here. Now one thing I want to show you is that you can choose to add manual shifts or manual trips. And so if it's not associated with a shift, you don't have to do anything for that. And you can click the day, and so we have it, you select a day because we're going to be adding in a feature that you can also select a return trip, so in case you come in a different day. So your start location, I'm just going to select the home address for the office, and then you can either select a location, or you can manually type in a location. And once you do that, this is where you can click that compute button here. And I don't have an address since it's going to say error, but it will auto calculate your mileage. And you just want to record a business purpose, because always remember, when you're doing trips, the IRS wants to know why you are doing that trip. So I'm going to exit out of there, and I'm going to show you our invoices. Once you've done some shifts, you can choose to invoice. And even if you're not sending invoice, a lot of people keep track of their bills this way, and I'll show you that feature. So you can see you can also edit your shifts here. But let's say you can enter any line items here. If you're reimbursed for anything, I'll click create. And you can see I had a nice invoice here, and then I can click send if I'm sending it to that place, or you can download it, or you can save it as a draft. And I'm just going to click save as draft. And then I'm going to go back, and you can see here's that invoice I just made. Now, some people that don't actually send them, but they want to keep track of if they got paid or not, they're going to mark it as paid there. So that will show that it's marked as paid. And then our expense features, so you can upload a photo. And I worked with a CPA to make all of these categories. These are specific to medical professionals, so these are what CPAs want to keep track of. So you can select the category, the merchant, who you went to, the transaction amount, and you really want to leave a comment too here. So for instance, if you went out to, you were networking, you had lunch with a colleague, you want to put that colleague's name in here and say that you were networking with them, because the IRS wants to know why you were having lunch. And once you have uploaded all of that, I'll show you the final features in our hamburger menu. So there's a credentialing hub here, and so this is where you can store all your credentialing information. You will get updates if anything's going to expire. And then here is our report system. So this is where you would export anything for your CPA. And then here is our contract, and this is really cool. We just uploaded this new feature. So here's our contracts tab, and once you upload a contract there, you can actually click into this tools tab, and you can have it evaluated to see if there are any red flags. So I had that contract evaluated, and there are a couple red flags there. Here's a couple things to be cautious about, and then some standard language. So I'm going to click new analysis, and you can either choose to upload, or you can select from your contracts. Now, just some of the final features I'm going to show you about. Here's where if you want to customize your invoices, you can do that here. I do like to mention that when you click in there, there's these little things that will populate here, and you can click, if you want a due date or anything else in your subject, and same thing for your body of your message, and it will change that obviously based on the invoice that's being sent. Now, if I click here, here's the notes section, and this is neat as well. So you can see that you can have a location, case tips, and surgeon tips for every location that you go to. And finally, there's just a contacts here too. So if you have any work contacts you want to keep separate and easy to find, I suggest people put their sick line in there, and then that way they know where to call if they get sick. If you ever need to email us, click on the Help Center, and it will bring you to our email. So thanks for watching the setup. Please reach out to us if you guys have any questions.